Welcome to the mesmerizing world of Handmade by Ying with Donna, the YouTube quilting channel that's capturing hearts everywhere. With creativity as its needle and passion as its thread, this enchanting digital oasis weaves together a tapestry of inspiration and artistry. From beginner-friendly tutorials to complex masterpieces, Handmade by Ying with Donna has something for quilters of all ages and levels of expertise. It's a place where innovative techniques ignite your imagination, where colors burst with vivacity, and where every stitch tells a story. So grab your fabric and thread and join our global community of quilting enthusiasts. Together, let's sew a symphony of beauty, one square at a time. Let the quilting magic begin.
Hey friends, guess what? It's that time again. It's YouTube tutorial time. So for today, our fun project is going to be making fabric baskets. Now, how cool is that? You can make them in a variety of sizes. What I'm going to show you today is just a template, and you use your own measurements along the way. And all I'm doing is showing you how much storage space, gift ideas that you can use to make this one special for anybody. It's just a fun, easy sew. Doesn't take hardly any time at all, and it's going to look like you put a lot of work into it. Now, we all like something that's fast, that it shows, wow, they did this for me. So let's slip down to the table and I'll give you a look-see. I was playing with fabric a few weeks ago, and then I did it again last week, just figuring out what sizes I needed for here in front of my monitor area that I'd be able to drop stuff in. So this is the size that I needed to put my rulers from Fallon in. So I made my measurements and made this accordingly. And it holds them nice and tidy. They're not going to get chipped up, bunged up, or anything. And they're all in one spot. And I use those so much. So with that being said, we all have scrap fabric laying around. We've all got fat quarters that we like to see how they come together and how they play together. And we've all got batting. So there's no need to even go shopping. Your machine's always set up and ready to sew. So what I've done is, this is just a template for you to use as an idea of the size. This is a 12 by 14. I've pre-cut it. I just grabbed 2 fat quarters and one of each contrasting fabric, and all I did was measure them out, squared them down, and laid them just as you see. The fabric has to touch, so put those right sides together, and then you're going to have your batting on the bottom. What you're going to do is come around the outside perimeter, and you're going to stitch as close to the edge as you can, and it'll save you a lot of your trimming here in a few minutes. I like to leave about a 2-inch gap here, so I don't pin, I clip, so it reminds me that's where I need to back tack in. So let me get my machine turned on, get this baby warmed up, and we're going to get going. So all you're going to do is come as close to the edge as possible, and it's going to save you a little bit of work in the end. You won't have to trim it down or anything. You'll just have to do your normal snippets of the corners. Got that one a little too close. So I'll come in and then I'll back tack to make sure I caught it. And we're just going to come in on this, down to the corner, flip it around. I'm going to remove the clip, and I'm going to back tack right there. Go ahead and pull it out. Check and make sure you've got it caught on both sides, and I do. And here at the corners, what we're going to do is we're going to snip it. Just like any other projects that you do, if you're flipping your fabrics, you're going to want to snip those corners out. And it's going to make those lay so flat. So I'm going to push my scraps out of the way, and we're going to flip it. And it's kind of like if you were making a bowl cozy or something like that. But this is just going to be a bowl. How cool is that? So make sure that you've got something handy that you're going to be able to poke in the corners, because you're going to want those to really stick down. And just keep pulling it through. And then you get your fingers into all the corners, and you're going to want to really tuck those in. If you need to, we all have those little fun pokers in our sewing room that we can really get in there. I have long nails, so I just use my nails unless that doesn't work, and then I'll get one of them. I like to use my purple thingamajig and get into the corners if I don't get them as flat as I normally do. So let me get this poked out so it's nice and tidy. And that's all there is to it. So you can iron this flat if you would like, but all you're gonna do is come here and you're gonna close this up. So what I like to do is just press it in like this, put a little clip in it, just enough to hold it, because I want to make sure I don't have any puckers or anything. And you really want to make sure that batting is in on the inside. I saw this video several years ago, and I was surfing the web and found it again. So I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So what I've done is I've already pre-done one, but I'm going to show you just the general, and then we'll slip over to this one. So let me get my machine on. And all you're going to do is back tack it in, and you're going to go along this outside perimeter, and you're going to close up your hole. You're going to go all the way around in its entirety. As you can see, there is no science to this at all, no math, just stay close to the edge. I did not have to iron it in because I'm going real close to the side. It's closing it up, and it's going to make it lay really flat. Back tack here. So we've got it closed up. Make sure I got all my strings off. So this is where we're at on this project so far. Got a couple strings. I don't like the strings hanging, so we'll get those trimmed out. So I'm going to flip over to this one because I don't want to waste time in the video. But you'll be able to see I've went around it multiple times. And I want to say I went 5 to 6 times, basically about 1.5 inches all the way around. And this is going to make it really sturdy. Let me move this one out of the way, and we're going to come back to this. We're going to fold it in half. And like I said, there is no science to this. How cool is that? So right now, let's see, we're just going to go right here, and we're going to mark where we want to cut. You're going to want a 3-inch right there. And then you're going to come up 2 inches. This is so stinking fun to make. And like I said, remember, there's no science to this. And it comes together fast. That's what I liked about it. So make sure your lines are straight, because you're going to cut this out. And that's just like a little template. So handy dandy scissors here. Now you've got this boxed. So let me set that aside. So what you're going to do is decide which side do you want to be the inside and which one you want to be the outside. I like the strawberry look, so I'm going to keep this for my inside. And all I'm going to do is fold it over like this. Let me see. I want the strawberries on the outside, so we're going to do it this way. And all you're going to do is put a clip here. And then you're going to spin it around and do the same process, making sure that you have these lined up like that. That's going to close off this opened edge. and just put a little clip in it. And does that not look so stinking cute? Loving it already. And I want to give you the measurement. It's 2.5 inches where we're going to be working. So let me get my machine back on. And you're going to go right along the edge of your foot. And you're going to make sure that you back tack a couple places throughout. It's just going to help support the basket. I don't know what you're going to be putting in it, but you just want to make it really supported. You're going to flip it over and you're going to do the same thing. Like I said, this is a quick, simple, easy sew. And you have a couple options at this point. You can decide, do I want to use bias tape? Do I want to leave it just like that? I like a neat finish. So what I'm opting to do is I'm going to use this fabric, and you're going to guesstimate where you want it to be, leaving yourself enough right here that you are going to fold under. So we're going to do the same thing here and just fold it under until you get just the right amount that you would like. I like to hide those open ends. So you can press this down, or you can do like I'm going to. Just going to fold it in on itself, kind of like bias tape. Then I'm going to slip it under and fold it over, and that's going to hide your seam. You can do it that way, or you can do it this way. There's two different ways, so I wanted to show you both. This is really going to match both sides, so I'm going to use this one. So you have your bias tape, and all you're going to do is sit it in place. Really simple, but I'm going to fold the inside end right here, and then I'm going to clip it because you want it to stay in place. I'm going to come over to this side. I'm going to do the same thing. Just fold this little tidbit in. Slide it in place. You can use a thinner one, or you can use this size. It's up to you. I just think it gives it a really nice finished edge. So you can go along the bottom and dress it up just a little bit more there. I'm just going to give it that room here that you're going to be able to just fold these under. Finger press it in. Fold it down. Get your clip and put it in place. And then you're going to come over to the other side and do the same thing. And it's clipped in place. So now we're going to bring it over to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew real close there. I just want mine to be decorative. So I'm going to sew it in a couple different places, but there is really no need to. And we're going to do the same on the other side. These just look so pretty when they're done. So I'll shut my machine off. Trim all the threads because you want it to look nice. And then we're just going to trim all of the threads. I missed a couple. And then you're just going to flip it down. Turn it around inside out, and you've got yourself a handy dandy little box for your fabrics. You can use fat quarters. You can use this as a gift idea for friends. The sky's the limit. You can tack these closed or you can leave them to where they're opened. It depends on what it's going to be used for, so then I'll know how I want to use it. You can also fold this down and give it a little seam on the outside. I really like the way that these baskets come together, really nice and tidy, and it helps keep your sewing room clean. And you know, right now we're all decluttering a lot and figuring out what we want to do in our spaces. So this is going to be up here in the front of my desk so that I can start to keep all of my stuff in. So with all of that said, thank you for joining me for this fun, fast tutorial. Remember, I used 12 by 14 for batting and the 2 fat quarters. I cut 2 times. I just cut the fat quarter down. That way I was getting equal measurements because I wanted 2 matching baskets. One of them will be this direction and the other one will be this direction so that they'll match my area. So you guys, I hope this came in handy for you and gives you a little idea for your sewing space. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you back in the next one.